Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I've been meaning to do this video for a few days, but I've been wanting to kind of give the album a chance because I love Justin Bieber, okay? And I have loved Justin Bieber for a long time. Even in my emo phase, I liked Justin Bieber. I just secretly liked him, and I would hate on him, but I secretly liked him. I've liked him since his My World days. I think all of his albums and his entire discography, I can't speak, is great. In my opinion, his best albums are Purpose and the Journals album, Belieber's okay, and the acoustic version is pretty good. This album really took me a while to get into, and I've never had that with a Justin Bieber album before. Usually when I listen to a Bieber album, I can't stop playing it. I have it on repeat, it's addictive, and I don't get bored of it even years later. Like, I still listen to My Worlds and sing it to the top of my lungs when I'm alone. I still listen to all of his songs like on my phone, and I don't get bored of them, and they never get old. And My World was literally 10 years ago now, because he was 15 at the time and I'm the same age as Justin Bieber, so that makes me feel old. I've never got bored of his old albums. I feel like with Purpose, people started to hate him less, and he grew more of a fan base, and people were starting to respect him more as an artist and starting to see that he was growing up and changing. And I remember he became a big thing, and all of a sudden everyone that was hating on him loved him. Purpose was just his best album in terms of getting a new audience and expanding his career, and it was his most successful for sure. I remember it was just in the charts, every single song was in the charts, and it was unbelievable. I feel like it really set a precedent, I really can't speak, or what his next album would be, because he took a hiatus for a really long time. A lot of people expected a lot from him, which really does show the way that people's opinions of Justin Bieber has changed, because people used to hate on him really badly. Now his new album has come out and people are disappointed because they expect so much of him. They've got such a high expectation of him as an artist. I do feel like you have to look at this album objectively. I've been listening to it now since it came out. I don't know how long it's been, maybe a week, a couple of days, I'm not sure. Every day blends into one when I'm working. When I first heard Yummy, wasn't a big fan. It was weird, the music video tripped me out. I was like, what is he doing with himself? Let's just get into it, because I don't really know what my opinion on this album actually is, because I'm starting to really get into some of the songs and starting to sing them, but I've really had to force myself to get into them, which I've never had to do before with his albums. I feel like I'm really pushing myself to like it. But they're not bad songs, I just don't think it's his best, and I don't think it's the best album ever, and it seems a bit lazy in my opinion and rushed. But his vocals are incredible. So let's just get on with it, otherwise I'm just going to keep rambling. That's why I'm called Rebecca Rambles, I'm sorry. The first song on the album is called All Around Me. This reminds me of the first song on Ariana Grande's album, Sweetener, where she just shows off her vocals. An Angel Cried, I think it's called. God, I'm such a fake fan. She just shows off her vocal range and her ability, and it's a short song just to start off the album, get you hyped up. This is what that reminds me of, but on a lower level. No offense. It's very slow, it's nice to listen to vocally, it really shows off why he is as big as he is. He's always been a talented singer, no one can deny that. That's what drew me to him secretly years ago, before I would admit that I liked him. I was watching videos of him as Kid Roll. He was just incredible, even as a child, and he just has this pure talent, and I think that reminds you of that, and there's something special about him in that way, and where he came from, and his busking days and his YouTube days. I quite like the first song because it just gives you a taste of his vocals, and it did get me excited because it's not the best song on the album, but it's like a good one to begin with because it just sets you up. It's relaxing. The only weird thing about it was the baby voices at the end. This now makes me less concerned because there's all these conspiracy theories online, and I hope my YouTube video doesn't get removed for this, but that Yummy is referencing Pizzagate and what goes on in the industry with child trafficking and stuff. And for a while I started to believe it because, you know, I like to keep an open mind, and it was very convincing, and I like to, you know, not just... I want to expand my mind, and I like reading conspiracy theories and stuff because, you know, you should always be open to these kind of things. And he was posting I can't speak today, pictures with the hashtag Yummy to promote Yummy, the single, and it was really weird and a bit wrong, and I didn't really get it. When I saw it on Instagram, I was like, what's your angle here? But I do think now, hearing the baby voices at the end of All Around Me kind of made that make sense a bit, and I do think he's just alluding to the fact that he wants Hailey to be his baby mama, and because he said in his Seasons YouTube series that the thing that made him want to propose to her was she was holding a baby, someone's baby, and he just saw the look in her eyes and he knew that he wanted this to be the mother of his children. And I think that's all it is. I don't think it's any deeper than that. I don't think it's anything... I just don't think it's any deeper than that anymore. I don't think there's any Pizzagate things. I think he literally just is alluding to the fact that he finds her yummy because he wants a baby with her in the future and he wants a family with her and marriage and blah 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 and commitment. But I just think he went about it in the wrong way by posting hashtag yummy with babies. But anyway, they really threw me off, but that's just what I linked it to, and it made me feel a little less weird about the way he promoted his song. Habitual is the second song in the album, and now I'm not going to insert clips of any of the songs because YouTube's really strict about that kind of thing these days. So I can't actually, when I'm saying the names of the songs, it's not like coming up in my head, and I can't hear the song in my head, which is usually what you should be able to do with an album. And even though I've been listening to it every single day, this is all I've been listening to, trying to drill it into my head. Even saying Habitual, I can barely just remember what the song sounds like, so I'm just going off my notes, okay, so I'm sorry for that. And it just goes to show that the album, it doesn't stick in your head, or at least not for me. It's not like, it's just not on the level of his other works, in my opinion. And I'm a huge Bieber fan, okay, I really am. I'm just a bit disappointed. I put Habitual is a favourite of mine. It's a favourite of mine, but I can't even remember how it goes. I think it's something like, my love for you is habitual, yeah. So it goes something like that, but the fact that it's one of my favourite songs in the album and I can't really remember it, and I've been listening to it on repeat, is a red flag. It's got an interesting beat, however I said it's a little distracting and it's all I can focus on. I do think that's the theme with a lot of the songs on this album, is the music is far too loud and it just seems like they didn't mix it right, like his voice isn't as loud as the music and it just really puts you off. It's not too loud that you can't hear him or understand what he's saying, but it's so loud that you just kind of focus on that rather than what he's singing. A lot of the songs have a very weird, like, video gamey trap music type beat, but they all sound very similar, every single song, and that's why no song sticks out to me really, and this one was no different. Excellent vocals as always. Justin Bieber is really talented. I don't think he'll ever disappoint me singing wise. Not a standout track however. Yeah, and I couldn't imagine it being a single. It's very different to anything else he's done. And it's got interesting high notes at the end which shows off his talent and range, and I think I can hear that in my head of what that sounded like. He does do a lot of that on this album, experimenting with his vocals, which is good because everyone wants to experiment vocally and show off their different abilities and stuff, like with Ariana Grande with her whistle notes. It just shows you that they've kind of been developing their voice and it shows off their talent, and it's interesting, something new and different. So that was something that I liked about this album, is he experiments with his voice. I'm no vocal coach, so I don't know how to explain it, but he really does experiment with the way that he uses his voice in some of the songs. Got Come Around Me, which I kind of remember this one. This is one of my favourites because the chorus is so catchy, and this is one that I do find myself singing, although right now I'm struggling to hear the lyrics in my head. This is one that I've caught myself singing at work when I'm catching up or something. I'll catch myself singing it, or randomly on the shop floor, which I really shouldn't be considering. The title means exactly what you think it means. It's a more mature Bieber album, so he's talking more about sex and his sex life and more adult themes, I suppose, a little less romance and a little more sexy, I guess he's trying to go for, which some people are finding weird because he's talking about his wife as opposed to a girlfriend, but that's up to debate. I don't really like to get involved in his personal life or him dating Selena Gomez or Hailey Bieber. I ain't got an issue with either of them. I love Justin Bieber. I was heartbroken when he got married, not gonna lie. But like, at the end of the day, he's a celebrity and I don't really get involved in people's personal lives celebrity-wise. I've never really understood that. It's a very interesting new beat, a little similar to the previous song. A lot of these songs it's hard to distinguish between the sounds. Like, I was talking to my sisters about it and they were saying that every song sounds the same, and I get what they mean by that. High notes, they show his range, very chill vibes. Again, it doesn't feel like something that could be a single, in my opinion. I think it's too slow. All of the songs just feel a bit slow. I've been listening to them on like double speed on YouTube and stuff because they're just more catchy that way. I don't know, there's just something about this album that's more chill and relaxed than like poppy, which there's nothing wrong with, but like none of them stand out to me as a single. This album is unlike Purpose, where every song is unskippable. Whenever I listen to Purpose, I just listen to the whole album and I don't skip any songs, but with this, I've been forcing myself to listen to them and I never think to myself, oh, I want to listen to Changes. Like, the only song I really ever listen to is Yummy. That's the only one that stands out to me, and I think that's just because it was his comeback song and it's stuck in my head. Which, if I'm saying Yummy is like the best song in the album, or the only one that stands out, then you can kind of understand why this review's a little critical. It's very repetitive but catchy as fuck. See, I should not have to look this up, I should know it off by heart by now, I listen to it every day. When you come around me, do me like you miss me, even though you've been with me. Okay, I remember it now, but do you see what I mean? Like, none of the songs are memorable. Intentions, so I said this is one of the better tracks on the album. It's the single. I liked the video, I thought it was heartfelt. It reminded me of Never Say Never Days for some reason. It just felt really good, really heartfelt, more human. It wasn't weird like Yummy, it felt more old Bieber, so I was more of a fan of Intentions, and I'd say this is a pretty good song. It's one of the better tracks on the album, a good choice for a single. Not incredible for Justin Bieber, but it's not an awful song, that's true. Like, it doesn't stand out. Like, if I were to request a song at the club by Justin Bieber and they said pick any, none of the songs from Changes would come in my mind, especially not Intentions, so do what you will with that. It's catchy, better lyrically than Yummy for sure, sounds more like a Bieber song than anything else. The chorus is better than most on the album, that's true. The Quavo chorus is more prominent than other collabs on the album, except Get Me with Kalani, which I think is one of the best songs on the album. It's amazing. Yeah, chef's gifts. I have a list, leave me alone. And everyone's heard Intentions, it's alright. Yeah, Yummy. First I wasn't a big fan of Yummy and everybody was slating it and insulting it. I don't think it's as bad as people say. I do think it's catchy, I do like it, I find myself singing along to it. It's one of those songs like Call Me Maybe where I'm like, oh, this is so annoying, why is this playing again? But then I'll start singing it because it's so catchy and it just gets stuck in your head. It's the only song that really stands out. It's the song that I choose to listen to the most from Changes, which you can judge me all you like, it's a guilty pleasure. I think lyrically it's not great. I do understand people's distaste for it. I think the use of the word yummy didn't do him any favours. It's a song about a mature subject, but he's using like really babyish language, and I understand why people are comparing it to Baby in his younger days and saying they're disappointed and stuff, but I don't think it's meant to be that deep, obviously. It's meant to just be a fun song. I think his record label probably pushed him to release like single material, and he probably just had to put it on the album because he needed something single worthy and something for his comeback. And I do think that you can tell in his interviews and stuff, in my opinion, that he's not really into Yummy. I don't know, something's off about that song, but I don't think it's as bad as everybody's making out. I'm not a fan of the music video, I think it's creepy. Now every time I watch it I can't stop thinking about Pizzagate, even though I no longer believe it. I just can't get it out of my head. There is something weird about the video, I will say, and it still makes me question things. It's just not a Bieber video at all. Very strange, reminds me of when Miley Cyrus had her weird phase. It's alright. I think it gets a lot of hate for no reason. I think just because it's Justin Bieber it gets more hate than anything. If it wasn't Justin Bieber I think people would be into it, but because it's him I think people are disappointed because he went the easy route rather than experimenting and doing something better. And it's definitely not on Purpose level, it's just kind of generic pop that anyone would do. Let's move on, shall we? Okay, so Available is one that I really like and one that I also find myself singing quite a lot. Is it incredible? No. Is it my favourite Bieber song? No, but it is a good song. I just listened to it a minute ago to refresh my memory. Again, they don't stick out in your head. They're not memorable songs at all. This is a very forgettable album, at least for him. Maybe I'll change my mind the more I listen to it, but I just don't feel like you should have to force an album on yourself like this. So I put that it's got an interesting new beat, which I do think is true. It's a new sound, yep, especially for him. It's got a catchy hook. I mean, I sound desperate, but you made it like this. Say I'm #1 on your to-do list, are you available? Or something like that. Yes, thank you. I'm gonna go on the X Factor. I am going to also create a singing channel where I do covers, because I'm just so good at singing. I think those are very catchy, smart lyrics. Probably my favourite lyrics on the album. There's just something about that chorus that really just gets me going. Like, I think that's the best part of the song, and then the rest I just forget. Those are the only lyrics I can remember from this damn song. I said it's very catchy, but it's missing something. If the chorus was longer and better lyrically, it would be a good single. I do find the bit where he goes, got my arms wide open. Yes, I'm a great singer, thank you. Don't copyright me, that was my voice, not Justin's. Okay, I know it was very similar. A back voice that's like, arms wide open, and it goes like that, and it's very weird and new and different, but I like it. But it's not fantastic, at least for Justin Bieber. It's not bad, it's not bad. Don't come for me. I am a huge Belieber, I am, I promise you, but it's just not the best. Forever. This song I'm not a huge fan of. It's really like boring, so skippable, and I had high expectations because it's a collab with Post Malone. Even though I don't listen to Post Malone, he's so up there that I really thought this would be a good collab, but it's just, there's something missing. It's really boring, in my opinion. I don't know, it's plain, it's dull, it's not memorable, it's just so like, it feels like he's not giving much effort when he's singing it. It feels like he wrote it in like 5 minutes. I don't want to hate on this album because I love Justin Bieber, I love him. I don't know, maybe it'll grow on me, because when I first heard Boyfriend, for example, I did not like it at all, and then it grew on me and now it's one of my favourite songs, so I don't know, maybe it's just going to take time to adjust. It's not a bad album, it's just not on his level. He's so talented. So I'm paying him a compliment, okay? I still think he's great, he's a great artist. The chorus isn't great, which is true. It's just like, do you want to be with me forever? Ever, ever. And I literally can't remember the rest. And then it goes something like, whoa, 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 oh, 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 whoa, oh, oh, oh. Like, that's literally the lyrics. And I just think it's like he didn't know what to put there, so he just put filler lyrics, and it's just, the chorus is so underwhelming. Like, the chorus should be the best part of the song, in my opinion, the bit that you hype yourself up for. The verses should be good, but they should be a lead up to the chorus, but the chorus is like nothing. And it's just so bland, I'm sorry. It's repetitive, seems uncreative, and could be better written. Yeah, vocals are incredible, as always. I can never slate his singing, he's incredible, I think he's amazing. I'll always defend the Bieber. I don't think he can ever sound bad on a song, ever. Not possible. I don't have an opinion on Post Malone, but I did have high expectations, so I was disappointed. Running Over, which is with Lil Dicky, I'm pretty sure. It's written that it's got a video game type beat. It's cool, chill, great vocals, as usual, catchy chorus. I said it's better lyrically than most of the songs on the album. Feels like a filler song, which half of the album does, which I don't like. Most albums feel like fillers, especially pop songs, and there's not many pop albums out there other than Justin Bieber's that I really like every song on the album, so this kind of was a shock to the system because he's usually the exception to that rule. It's a more mature side to Justin Bieber. The tune is a little distracting again, definitely, because it's like a video game beat. It's really cool, I love the beat. It's so video game-ish and reminds me of like Game Boy or something for some reason, so I love it. But it's really distracting to the lyrics. It's a different sound for Justin Bieber, so it doesn't sound like a Justin Bieber song, so maybe that's what's throwing me off. I'm sorry I'm looking at my phone this whole video, but I needed a script for this because the songs are so forgettable that I can't really talk by memory. I said it doesn't stick in my head, which it doesn't. I actually can't remember how this song goes. I can't even remember the video game tune. I'd have to play it to know. Okay, Take It Out On Me is one that I can remember, so maybe that's a good sign. I said that it's quite slow, a filler song, like most of them. Interesting beat. It's distracting because we're not really used to this kind of sound with Justin Bieber, I wrote. I can't actually remember the tune of this song, but I can remember the lyrics. Just assume he's always vocally amazing, okay? Just assume that. There has been controversy on this song because the lyrics are kind of weird. and he's talking about his wife. It seems a bit toxic, but it is just a song, so whatever. There's one lyric where he says, "I'll be your punching bag," so it's not like the best romantic song in the world. It's a bit weird. I said it was a little reminiscent of Journals, which I liked and made me nostalgic, and Journals is a fantastic killer album, but it could be awful, but it's not an awful song. That's all I wrote. Second, Emotion, which again I can't remember how this song goes. It's got a faster beat, easier to vibe to. I feel myself dancing and singing along to it, like unlike most songs in the album, which is weird because I can't actually remember the song. Wait, is this the right one? Yeah, I said it's a favourite, but I can't remember it again. I said it could be a decent single, it's more enjoyable. La la la, magic got me, litty, keys to my city. Not incredible lyrics, but catchy and stuck in your head. It reminds me of the chilling by the fire while we eating fondue lyrics. Like, I hated that at first, but ironically I started liking it, and then you just kind of forget about it and you just sing it. It's like a guilty pleasure. It's not the best writing in the world. Travis Scott fits well into the song, a highlight of the album, great vocals as always, shows a range vocally, high, low, a tiny bit of rap flow with Justin, new and exciting. So I clearly like that one, but I don't really remember it. So that's the thing with most of these songs, like, they're alright, they're not bad to vibe to or listen to when I'm playing games on my computer, but like, they're not memorable. ETA, which I think he just released as a single, and I've not watched the video yet, but I will do. It's got an acoustic guitar, a nice touch, the vocals are great, shows talent, Journal vibes, one of the best on the album. The chorus is chill vibing, gives me the feels, remembering why I'm such a big fan of Justin's, and showcases why he's so popular in the first place. Sounds a little like All That Matters at the beginning, a nice treat to Bieber fans, very mature sounding, lyrically powerful, so I clearly like that one. Again, I can't remember how it goes though, so whoops, but I will watch the video after this and see what I think. ETA is a good one, I do remember that, but it's not one that the whole album's quite forgettable. I'm sorry Bieber, but it just is. We have Confirmation, and I said this is a simple beat at the beginning, it lets you appreciate his voice. It's a more touching song, lyrically more impressive. The end of the album gets better than the beginning. I do remember that when I was listening to it the other day to write my notes down. I was like, the end of the album is much stronger than the beginning of the album, and I wish the whole album had been like that because I would have enjoyed it more, but it's still not incredible. I don't know, I feel like it's just because everybody's got high expectations, so I feel sorry for him in a way. It reminds me of his acoustic album, it shows off his talent, it's not overproduced, it doesn't drown out his talent but rather highlights it. It sounds like it could have been on purpose. A great song near the end of the album, could listen to it repeatedly. The talking part at the end reminds me of Purpose as well and is a nice touch. Yeah, I agree with all of that, I just still can't remember how that song goes. Then we have At Least For Now. I said this gives me Purpose vibes, it's very different in a good way, mature, lyrically entrancing, vocally incredible. The yodel at the end is really good, I do remember that, I was shook. I was like, Mason Randley, who? I really like that, like Justin Bieber doing country music. I know he did that 10,000 Hours song with a country artist, and I really like that, and he did That Should Be Me with a country artist, and yeah, I think his voice is good on country songs. Really like that, it was really expanding his abilities and it showcased that he's good in any genre, in a way. So yeah, I really like that. It's a lovely love song, peaceful, more emotional, and more of a connection to what he's singing. Vocals at the end are heavenly. Wow. Only downside is the song is too short, such a satisfying listen, so I clearly very much like that one. I'm sorry if I've just mixed the two songs at the end, but basically, yes, I like that one. And then the Yummy Summer Walker remix. I said it wasn't changed that much, just a certain section of the song and the ending that was changed. It wasn't really a remix, it was just someone added in. The lady vocals and harmonies were my favourite part, and this should have been the first version that was released because it was more pleasing to listen to, and I think it would have got way less backlash. Overall, I'd say the album is like a 7 out of 10. The rest of his albums are like a 9, 8, 10. I only rate it highly because it's Justin Bieber and because the vocals are so good, and I don't think it's a bad album, I just don't think it's my kind of thing, and I don't know if I'm just growing out of him or what, but a lot of people seem to hold the same opinion as me, so personally I just think this isn't up to his usual standard, and I like that he's experimenting, but I do hope that his next album is a bit more Purpose era and a bit different, because this was just so, I don't know, it just felt laid back a bit too much. Stop going off alarm. Changes and Get Me. Get Me is my favourite song on the album, so when I was editing I figured out that I had Mendes / Troye Sivan vibes, especially with the beat and everything. The first Kalani's, and it just reminds me of the old collabs he used to do, like when he did Overboard with Miley Cyrus, and I thought that was really good. It wasn't like he's goes really well with his voice, and it just gave me a nostalgic feel, and it's definitely my it's just, it really stands out. I'm really sorry. I'm very sorry. But you can let me know what you think down below. Not a Bieber hater, I love him, but Changes was not the best album, and I miss Changes somehow. Changes is a song on there. And Changes I've just forgotten all about, so the title track on the album I totally didn't even write down, so that's fantastic. Well done, good review, Rebecca. You can like, comment and subscribe. I make new videos every single week, or at least I try to, and I will see you in my next one. Let me know what you think, because yeah, not the best album in the world, but also not awful. I love you, Justin, but I'm looking forward to your next release, because this one wasn't it. Thank you very much, goodbye.